Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, How You Figure. I'm Justin, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 10 most anticipated Marvel Cinematic Universe Hot Toys figures of 2024. Let's get into it. And before we get started, one last thing. If you would give this video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. That would really help out my channel. And also consider subscribing if you like this type of content. You can check out some of my other videos in the description below. I think you might actually like it around here if you like this type of content, and I would love to have you as a subscriber. So let's jump right into this top 10 video with number 10. Let's go. All right, so we're going to kick things off with our honorable mention. And it is because this figure does not come out until 2025, but I still want to put it on here, show it some love. Iron Man Mark II 2.0. I will be revisiting this figure, I am sure, for my most anticipated of 2025 MCU figures. This one just looks phenomenal. I have the Iron Man Mark III 2.0. That thing is a masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece. It looks fantastic. The only small issue I have with it is the base. I had a few little issues with the base. In this one, this base is absolutely phenomenal. For me, this base makes this almost a must buy. Just the base. That's how good this thing is. I mean, look at all this. Look at all this stuff it comes with. This looks phenomenal. And look at that. This figure is going to be great. If you're a big fan of the original Iron Man movie, what started it all, I'm sure if you're watching this movie or you're watching this video, you're a huge Iron Man fan. You know you're going to be getting this one. Again, honorable mention only because it isn't slated to come out until 2025 at the earliest. At number 10, we have AntMan. And again, this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe top 10. I just want to remind that one more time because it's not all Marvel. So it's Marvel Cinematic Universe. And here we got Ant-Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. The only reason this is 10, because I love Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I just love that character so much. It's the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks so much better than that last head sculpt. Don't even get me started on that last one. This head sculpt actually looks really solid. There's still something a little off of it, and I think it's the expression. I just wish there was another expression that would come with this figure, because when I look for it, it's like, I just feel like Paul Rudd, just like we talk about with StarLord and stuff, I feel like Paul Rudd's personality is so joyous and so, just almost contagious with how, the comedic timing, the joy, just the sarcasm. And I just feel like this right here, it doesn't encapsulate Ant-Man to me. I don't mind this head sculpt, but I wish there was another one that we could use that was more of a, maybe a smirking one. I know they did the one with the smile and the teeth was a big thing, so I get that. But just like we're going to see later on with another figure who just nailed the head sculpt with the smirk, I think they could have done the same thing with Ant-Man. But overall, I think this figure looks really solid. I think this figure looks really good, and I don't have an Ant-Man yet, so I'm really excited to add this one to my collection. And that was number 10. Number 9, we're going to stick with Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. If you got to get Ant-Man, you got to get Wasp. I think these two figures go hand in hand, but I didn't want to put them both at 10 because I already have a figure or two figures that share a spot later on, and I didn't want to do that more than once. To me, I talked about this in my don't overlook these 5 upcoming Hot Toys figures. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the card up here or put it or it'll be in the description below. Definitely check that out if you haven't. But this figure right here, I really think they nailed the Evangeline Lilly head sculpt. I think that this is the essential Wasp figure. I think that this costume, this outfit is going to look phenomenal. It comes with a little Ant-Man. I just think these two figures are going to look phenomenal on the shelf together. And I just think this Wasp figure, the yellow, I just think it looks so good. That yellow looks so good, and it's going to really pop on the shelf. I cannot wait to add both Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I think it's all or nothing for me because I don't have either one of these characters, so I'm going to get both of these. Even though Quantumania wasn't my favorite Ant-Man movie, I still think it was passable. I still think it was good enough to have in the collection. The next one we have Holiday Special Mantis. I think that this is another figure that's being overlooked a little bit and people aren't talking about it. I think what makes this figure so cool is not only do you get the holiday special aspect of it, which I think this will be the only holiday special figure we get. So you already get that kind of added bonus, the Christmas sweater, the candy cane, just, the different, the headpiece here. But here's the thing. We might not get Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We might not get Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So we're all kind of in limbo right now if we're going to be able to finish the entire Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 line. I just said Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 so many times in a row. I apologize. But this figure right here looks phenomenal, and it has a lot of versatility because it's got the original outfit here. So you can put this in an Infinity War line, you can put this in a Guardians of the Galaxy line, and you'd be good to go. But you can also have fun with it, and around the holidays, do a little holiday special. It'd be great. I think this is a must-own figure if you're building out any Guardians line. I think you have to have this figure, especially with us not knowing if they're going to release the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. There I went again. Drax or Mantis. Let's go to the next one, and we're going to stick with it. Yep, the movie. I won't say it again. We got Groot from Volume 3, and this figure looks so good. I don't have a Groot yet. One of my main focuses this year is building out a Guardians line. Again, the thing that sucks right now is I don't know when we're going to get a Drax, if we're ever going to get a Drax. So I'll do my best to try to just hold out hope for that. But this figure looks phenomenal. Again, the iconic Groot to me is obviously Volume 1. I just think that's kind of the iconic Groot. But every Groot interpretation has been iconic. I thought that was going to be the only one that was iconic. Every single one has been icon status, man. Volume 2, iconic. This one, iconic. Just because of, like, this is the one where I feel like he's almost like just getting into that, you know, him and StarLord in that one scene. Again, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, but just the back-to-back scene, I want that in my display. And then obviously in Infinity War, I mean, come on, man, another iconic turn. And I mean, so Groot has had such a great journey through the MCU, and I just think this figure looks absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. I'm going to be getting the deluxe so I can do this. I mean, look, I mean, this just looks so good. It's just got everything. This figure's got everything, and I think it's going to look really good. The different expressions. Man, the more I'm looking at this, maybe this should be higher. I don't know. But this is going to be great. I definitely think you should get the deluxe version of this character. All right. So we're going to go. We're going to stick with the movie. We're going to stick with Volume 3. It's a good year to be a Guardians fan. Okay, it's a good year to be a Guardians fan. We got Nebula here. This Nebula looks absolutely phenomenal. Again, I'm a little nervous about the team uniforms if I can't finish out the line. So I still think this is a must-have figure regardless. But that in-game figure is really good. So that's one that you could pick up and it would look really good in Guardians display as well. I almost put this one lower just because I feel like that figure is really, really good. But this one, the body on it, the head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. You can really see Carrion Gillian in this one. And I just think that this comes with some really cool accessories here. And I just think that this is the definitive Nebula figure just based on all these accessories and the head sculpt alone. And I just think it's going to be an absolute amazing figure when it comes out and you get it in hand. So I would definitely, if you're a Guardians fan, you already know you got to have this Nebula in your collection. So that is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That was number 6. So here we're gonna go in the top 5 here. We're going in the top 5. Let me know right now, who do you have in your top 5? I want to hear your top 5 in the comments below, and let's see if they match up. So let's see if you agree with this next one. Not the Artisan. If you're getting the Artisan, that's fine. I'm getting the sculpted. I missed out on the Artisan. Scarlet Witch. If it was the Artisan, I would still probably have it. I would probably, if I was able to, depending on the Artisan. See, I've never gotten an Artisan figure, so I'm not sure about it. But everybody seems to be pumped about that Artisan figure, and I don't blame you. I'm going to be getting the sculpted. I might have this one higher, maybe 2 higher, depending on how good that Artisan looks. But it's still, you know, 5 through 3 is kind of interchangeable, and then the top 2 I think are solidified there. So I'll just put that out there. So 5 and 3 could kind of mix and match. But to me, this is the definitive Wanda figure. If you want the definitive Scarlet Witch figure, I think that's that Scarlet Witch from Multiverse of Madness. That figure looks phenomenal. This figure, though, right here is just absolutely great. This is like just an iconic outfit to me in the MCU. Elizabeth Olsen absolutely crushed it. I love the display options here. I just to me, when I think of Scarlet Witch, or when I think of Scarlet Witch, when I think of Wanda, I'm thinking of this version of the character. And I just love, I mean, look at this base. This base is phenomenal. They have really knocked out of the park with Scarlet Witch bases, because that Multiverse of Madness one is really good as well. I love the light up eyes. I love the different hands. I love the gloved hands. I think that's an iconic look for her. This figure is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I truly cannot wait. All these in the top 10, I'm super excited to own. The top 5, I'm really excited to own. So number 5, Scarlet Witch from Avengers Endgame. And number 4, we got our first Spider-Man sighting. We got new red and blue suit. Was only featured for a little while in a little movie I like to call Spider-Man No Way Home. We've already gotten a ton of Spider-Man No Way Home figures. People that are collecting Spider-Man No Way Home and have finished that line, I applaud you. That is a monster line. That is a great line of figures for the most part. This base alone, to me, is worth the price of admission. I mean, not obviously it's not worth like the entire figure, but I'm just saying this base is great. You can use this base for all kinds of different things. Not even this figure. This head sculpt with the neck plate here, that's always been an issue from what I understand. I don't have a Tom Holland Spider-Man, so this is the one. I just think this is the coolest suit. This might not be the most iconic suit for Tom Holland Spider-Man, but it's the one I like because it's the most like classic version of the Spider-Man suit. I really just love the classic look of the suit. Let's look at that one more time. That head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal, man. So to me, this is going to be the first Tom Holland Spider-Man I add to the collection, unless I find another one on like a really good deal before this one comes out. But this figure looks phenomenal. And obviously, it's Spider-Man. You know it's going to be popular. You know people are getting it. Separate rolling eyeballs function. This figure's got everything. This figure's going to be great. Number 4, Spider-Man, new red and blue suit from No Way Home. Now, we're going to get in the top 3. And number 3, and depending on when you're watching this video, this figure might already be out. You know, you might be watching this a couple months after I filmed this, and you might already have this one in hand. And it is Thor from Thor Love and Thunder. I think you need to get the deluxe version if you decide to get this Thor. Everything on the deluxe version to me warrants the price increase. I just think this figure looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, look at this thing. Look, I did not like Love and Thunder whatsoever, but I love the character of Thor. I love Chris Hemsworth's portrayal of Thor. That head sculpt is too good to pass up. I gotta have this figure. I gotta have Thor in the collection. If this was a Thor from the original Avengers, the original Thor, Age of Ultron, pretty much any movie that has long hair Thor, and it was like, you know, during those first phases of the MCU, this would probably be number 1. Like, I'm not even kidding. Maybe number 2. But it's number 3 just because I think Thor is such a great character. Chris Hemsworth, this head sculpt is phenomenal. We get a little picture right there of the whole suit. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the arms. Look at the muscles. Look at everything, man. I mean, that seamless arm, that the muscles and the arm on that look phenomenal. And this figure, I just think is, again, is going to be one that I feel like if you're a really big MCU fan, if you're a big Thor fan, you need to put aside the fact that you didn't really like this movie, if you didn't like it, and you need to still get this figure because it is phenomenal, and I just can't wait to get it in hand. The next one we have StarLord at number 2. Another Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I hadn't said it in a while, so I thought it'd be okay. This is what I was talking about with the smirking face. I think they absolutely nailed the head sculpt here. The head sculpt with Chris Pratt, this captures Chris Pratt more than probably any other StarLord figure that has been released so far. I love the body on this figure because it just looks really good. And the posability on this figure looks really good. And you see how it looks with the other characters. If we could just get all of these characters in the team suits, this would be an easy, complete line for me. It would be so easy to get this. But again, I keep sounding like a broken record, but I don't know what they're going to do with the Drax, okay, or the Mantis. But just for the head sculpt alone, I just think that this is a must-have figure. If you are a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan like I am, you have to have this figure in your collection. Regardless of if they release all the characters, you just have to have it. This figure looks phenomenal. It doesn't come with a lot. But a lot of the StarLord figures do not. But this figure just looks phenomenal. I think they really captured Chris Pratt's personality and head sculpt in this. I wish they would have done the same type of thing with Paul Rudd's AntMan. But this was an easy number 2. StarLord from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And finally, we have a tie for number 1. And the reason I'm doing this is because it comes from the same film. And I just think that you could actually own both of these figures and it be a complete figure. So we're going to go with the Iron Man Mark 6 2.0 with suit up gantry. Again, this smirking face, I don't think this head sculpt is as good as the Chris Pratt one we just looked at, but this head sculpt is still really good. And I think that this just looks like a phenomenal figure. So I think this is one that you probably should add to your collection if you're a big Iron Man fan and you're a big Avengers fan. For me, the original Avengers is my all-time favorite MCU movie. I want to collect everything from the original Avengers, so I have to get this one, but I want to pair it with the one I'm more excited about. But I wanted to show this one off because I just think it's so good not to. But if I had to pick between the two, I'd actually pick this next one. But I think that both of these together make the perfect figure. And I actually want this one right here, the Mark 7 suit up version. I love the scene. One of the most iconic scenes in that movie. Tony Stark and Loki, he's having to buy some time, gets thrown out the window, has to suit up like this. I love that scene so much. This head sculpt right here, I know it's not the smirking head sculpt, but this head sculpt looks phenomenal. I think that this could potentially be the best Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt we get so far once we get it in hand. I just think that looks really, really damn good. And I just love the entire figure. I love the suit up functionality of it. I love the rolling eyeballs. This would be how I would display it, is right here. And then I would also like to have that suit up gantry. So that's what I'm talking about. I want this figure for this right here, and I want the other one for just the suit. And then you already have the gantry, and then you have the suit up. You have the suit up. It would make the perfect figure. So I feel like it might be a little bit cheating because I put two figures at one, but I do think it's warranted. Now that I've explained myself, I think you might agree. Those two would look phenomenal together on the shelf. All right, everyone, that was my top 10 most anticipated Marvel Cinematic Universe Hot Toys of 2024. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what your most anticipated, your number one most anticipated Marvel Hot Toys of 2024 is. I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I would love if you would give this video a thumbs up. It'd really help out my channel a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.